What is going on, everybody? Welcome into TTP Sports and happy Halloween to everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed it because I especially enjoyed it because the Flyers have won two in a row. The orange and the black. Another low-scoring affair. Wasn't a shutout this time. It was almost a shutout, but the Blues managed to tie the game up halfway through the third period, but they prevail. Bobby Brink, 3 minutes left into the game. Nice dish from Joel Farabee off of a nice turnover from Scott Lawton in the neutral zone. They go up the ice, little couple of passing back and forth, and Bobby Brink manages to redirect the puck behind Jordan Binnington for the Flyers to seal this one out against the St. Louis Blues by a score of 2-1. So, 2 wins in a row for the Fly Guys. First time they've won back-to-back games all season. And basically, I would say this game is a carbon copy of what the Boston Bruins game was a couple of days ago. It was a pretty boring affair. There was not much offense on both sides. Flyers played very well defensively, especially in the blocked shot category. They were laying the body out, whether that was using their entire body to prevent shots from getting to Sam Ersson, or either getting sticks in the way to redirect pucks to the corner instead of letting them go on net. Basically, they were just getting in the way of everything. They were being very suffocating defensively, forcing a lot of stuff from St. Louis to the outside. And when St. Louis did get their eventual dangerous chance, Sam Ersson was there to make the save, especially a very huge save with around, the last 30 seconds of the game. Flyers, they were, trying to clear down the ice, getting into the empty net. A little bit of a turnover in the neutral zone. Blues come back the other way. A little bit of passing there. You got Braden Shen down low trying to redirect the puck past Ersson. He slides across the crease to make the save and making sure the puck is underneath him. So, he was coming up huge today. So that's really two good games in a row from Sam Ersson. So, hey, he's been the Flyers' best goaltender so far this year, even though there's still a little bit of nitpicking things that I do have with Sam Ersson's game. He lets up a lot of rebounds, but at that point, it's getting to the nitpicking part, even though that is a crucial part of being a goaltender, being able to control the puck and control the rebounds so they don't get into dangerous areas when the puck does go off of you. So that's something that 100% he needs to improve, but he's also one of the main reasons why the Flyers even have back-to-back wins to begin with, because that's, how solid and sharp he has been in the net. Like I said, he's basically been their best goaltender to start the season, and I really don't think the numbers that he has right now, his stats don't reflect of how solid he has been. So I think right now he's been stable in the net, definitely, better than what he looked like at the end of last season, 100% better than what he looked like then. So, hey, he's playing really good right now. The Flyers are kind of feeding off of that. Let's see where this takes them. I would like to see them get a little more offense, though. That would be nice. That would be very nice. They had a couple of power plays in this game. Weren't able to cash in on those. Matvei Michkov did have a couple of chances on those power plays, when he has that on the high part of the ice near the blue line. He has all that time and space to take a wrister from far and out. And then he also has a chance down low near Jordan Binnington where he tries to roof it short side in that little gap that Binnington is giving up on the shoulder near the crossbar. So, and also speaking of Matvei Michkov's, so in the first period, so Michkov gets his first shift. He kind of had a turnover in the defensive zone, and I believe there was a chance in the offensive zone where he really didn't back up a play or something like that. I forget what it really was in the sequence of events that went prior to it. But after that first shift from Michkov, we really didn't see him much throughout, half, I would say through the half part of the first period. He came out for a power play shift for that first unit and then really didn't see 5-on-5 time until the second half of the first period. So I wonder if Torts, after I guess that first shift, he didn't like what he saw from Michkov, gave him a little benching situation, and then probably realized, okay, we can't bench Michkov the entire game. He's got to play out there. He's one of our best offensive producers on the ice. So I guess that was the first instance that we saw of John Tortorella giving, Matvei Michkov a benching. We knew it was going to happen at some point. There has been a little bit of a dip in Matvei Michkov's game, and now kind of think he's trying to do a little too much out there on the ice, trying to force passes, turning the puck over a lot more. I think it's also just one of those instances one where he's thinking the game way too fast. He's better basically than any of his teammates right now, so I think he's expecting them to be a little better, expecting them to be in places where they're not. That's why some passes are off. That's why he's turning the puck over, because I feel like he's just trying to anticipate players being there when they're actually not. So that's just something that he really needs to adjust to in the National Hockey League, and he definitely will. So I'm not worried about that in the slightest. It's rookie mistakes, a rookie making rookie mistakes. So that's exactly what it was. Torts benched him for a little bit in that first period. I think Michkov definitely got better as the game went along, especially with those 2 power play chances that he had in the third period on that one shift. So, it's probably stuff that's going to happen throughout the season. Torts just, giving a learning process to the kid. So I'm not really worried in the slightest there. It was going to become something eventually, but Torts realizes you can't bench Michkov the entire game. So, bench him halfway through the first period, and then he comes out for the second half of the first period and he plays the rest of the game. So, really don't have a problem with that, at all. So I guess it was due at some point, but it was definitely something that stood out in the beginning of the game because you're really like thinking about, because the lines were like getting really mixed up there. Sometimes you saw Tippett out there with Konechny and Couturier, then you saw Tippett out there again, then you saw Forster up there with them. You're like, where's Michkov at? Like, where the hell is Matvei at? Because he hasn't been on the ice in a little bit. Then you see him come out for the power play. Then it goes back to 5-on-5. You don't see him again. And then basically after the halfway point, that's when he comes back on the ice after a commercial break for 5-on-5. And you're just like, okay, I guess he was benched. And you're basically just going through Twitter to see if any of the Flyers people in the press box realize that. And basically they do. After that first shift, didn't really see him at all 5-on-5. And then eventually after the halfway point, he did come back out for 5-on-5 and played the rest of the game. So, like I said, it was bound to happen at some point between John Tortorella and Matvei Michkov. So, it's a learning process for the kid. It's a learning process. So, that's definitely something there. And like I said with this game, boring, suffocation, same exact style as it was against the Boston Bruins. There were a couple of dangerous chances, though, especially the first Flyers goal. It was a beautiful play by Ryan Poehling to split the defense, basically make them move their legs, lose a little bit of their balance, and he gets a good pass off the halfway, which I thought was a mistake at first, but, the pass halfway shot the puck, and he found a way to slide it through Jordan Binnington as he is sliding through the crease, got it through the 5-hole and made it 1-0 Flyers. So, beautiful play there by Ryan Poehling, and really offensively, I'm trying to think of other chances that were dangerous in the first few, because there was also a beautiful chance that Scott Lawton had in the third period. He had for a breakaway where he just lost the puck at the very end. He made a move to get Jordan Binnington to basically fake out, and then he got around him, and he just lost the puck after that. I'm just like, oh my God. When you have a beautiful play like that, you got to find a way to finish. You got to find a way to finish. And basically, I would say for the same thing, Flyers offensively, they're just constantly missing the net when they do have a chance to shoot the puck. There was also one situation where I'm not sure if it was on a power play. I don't think it was, but it was the Morgan Frost line out there. They had something in the zone. I believe Eric Johnson took a shot that redirected off the backboards, and Morgan Frost was net front to try to get the puck that was bouncing off of the boards. And instead of going after the puck, he waited for the puck to come to him, and the puck wasn't moving that fast off the boards. The boards aren't that lively in the Wells Fargo Center, so the puck took a little bit to get to Morgan Frost, which allowed Jordan Binnington to get over, allowed some of the defensemen to get back, and Frost, instead of going after it, he waits for the puck to come to him, and he tries to shoot the puck between his legs. Something I don't like there. Personally, I would like Frost to try to be aggressive on that, get the puck, move your feet, find a way to get the puck to make it go quick as possible so that Jordan Binnington doesn't have enough time to get over, or none of the Blues defensemen have enough time to get back. I just don't like settling for a between the legs play in that area. I just don't, especially when you don't have a goal in the year. I just find that as a desperate move, in my personal opinion. So that's definitely something there. Morgan Frost hasn't scored a goal yet, so he's also just one of the many Flyers that is struggling 5-on-5 and struggling to generate stuff offensively. So it's just basically the entire team from that point. But overall, I'm trying to think of other offensive. Tippett misses the net a billion times as always. I'm trying to think of other guys that had chances. Really, there was a There was a 2-on-1 between Konechny and Sean Couturier, and I believe Couturier whiffed on the puck or one of the Blues defensemen got a stick on it or something like that. It was basically when teams had offensive chances kind of went by the wayside because either the defense got back or they just completely screwed up on the play. Majority of that was on the Flyers side offensively. They just kept screwing up on a lot of things, and thankfully they were able to finish on stuff they were able to connect on, like that play between, Ryan Poehling and Garnett Hathaway, and then that play, when Scott Lawton first forces the turnover in the neutral zone, and you get that little passing back and forth between him, Farabee, and Bobby Brink, and Brink manages to bury it. So thankfully that was the case because they were just whiffing on a lot of things today, in my personal opinion. And that's just been the problem offensively for this team. They're just insanely snake bitten, which is something that really wasn't the case last year. They were able to score really well at 5-on-5. They were a team that really generated off the rush. They generated off of the counterattack. They generated off of their forecheck. And for some reason, that's just not going for this team this year. I don't know what the problem is. It's basically the same exact team, but I just can't figure out why they're struggling this much to either hit the net, generate anything offensively 5-on-5, or just anything besides that. Because right now the power play hasn't scored in the past couple of games, so you really can't rely on that right now. Michkov also hasn't been playing his best hockey the past couple of games, so you really need to find a way to dig deep and get some offense going here. So because you're not always going to be winning these low-scoring games. You can't constantly win games 2-1, 1-0, 3-2, or something like that. You're eventually going to have to score 3 or more goals in regulation. Your offense is eventually going to have to contribute a lot more because Sam Ersson always isn't going to be this locked in every single game. And that's not a knock on Sam Ersson. Your goalie is eventually going to have an off night. Ersson's eventually going to have an off night. Eventually, you're going to have to play one of your backups, whether that's Kolosov or whether that's Fedotov. Right now, it sounds like, Kolosov is the backup option for the Flyers, according to John Tortorella at this point. So it does look like that Kolosov is not going back to the KHL because the decision had to be made today. So that looks like that's the case. I'm not sure what's going to happen with the Fedotov situation, whether they waive him and try to set him down to the AHL, or they just carry 3 goaltenders on the roster. I have no idea. I have no idea at that point. But, yeah, definitely from the game's perspective, very boring once again. But I guess if that results in you winning hockey games, I guess right now you have to play boring. You have to play very suffocating defensively. You have to block a lot of shots, not really get that much offensively, and manage to bury the chances that you do get. So right now, it's very boring. It's a very boring brand of hockey. Just look at the blocked shots that the Flyers had compared to St. Louis. 24 blocked shots to St. Louis's 14. My God. They were just completely laying the body out to make sure the puck did not go on net to Sam Ersson. They were really laying the body out there, so kudos. I was kind of wishing Ersson got the shutout once again, but the Blues managed to score that goal halfway into the third period. It was kind of a weird breakdown. It was a good backdoor pass, guy wide open. It was a bad line change for the Flyers at the same time, so kind of got caught off guard there. The Flyers weren't able to clear the zone. They weren't able to get the puck deep. So it was one of those type of situations. You can't get the puck deep, get a bad line change, Blues counterattacking, get a guy wide open backdoor. It's one of those situations, so very weird stuff. Very weird hockey team. Right now, nothing makes sense for them, but right now they've won 2 games in a row. The first time they've done that all year. They still can't really find a way to generate much 5-on-5 offensively. They still can't find a way to generate much offensively in general, but they've won 2 hockey games in a row, playing insanely boring. Playing insanely boring. I guess that's the name of the game for this team. So right now the Flyers are 4-6-1 on the season. They're officially not the worst team in the Metropolitan Division. They got 9 points, tied with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Ahead of them is Columbus, New York, Carolina, Washington, and the New Jersey Devils. I would not have expected the Washington Capitals to be 7-2-0 on the season. That is something that was completely unexpected from that perspective. Jesus fucking Christ. My goodness. And I think the Flyers, who played the Boston Bruins again this Saturday, I think Boston just got pounded by the Carolina Hurricanes, if I'm not mistaken. The last time I saw, I think they did. Yeah, they lost fucking 8-2. My God. They lost 8-2. Did both goaltenders for Boston play in this game? Did Korpisalo and Swayman play? I'm not into. Yep, it looks like Swayman started, allowed 6 goals, then got pulled for Korpisalo. My God, Boston just got completely obliterated. Holy shit, something is off with the Boston Bruins. I have no idea what the case is there. Hopefully that's a good recipe for success for the Flyers on Saturday, but, it's definitely going to be tough because you just played this Boston team this past week and you shut them out, so they're going to be hungry for revenge there. But who knows? Maybe the Boston Bruins are just a bad hockey team too. So who knows? Maybe that could be a case for you to get your first win of the first 3-game win streak of the season. That would definitely be nice to creep up back to a game above the game below 500. That would be nice at least. Get closer to that mark. So what is that? A Saturday at 1:00, if I'm not mistaken, to start the month of November for the Fly Guys. So if I look at their schedule upcoming here, just to look at the next few games. So yeah, you got that 1:00 game this Saturday against Boston. Then you got 2 days off. You go on a road trip for 3 straight games. You play the Carolina Hurricanes, the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Florida Panthers. You come back home for another game on the 11th against the San Jose Sharks. Go on the road on the 14th against the Ottawa Senators. Then you're home for 5 straight games against Buffalo, Colorado, Carolina, Chicago, and the Vegas Golden Knights. Then you're on the road the day before Thanksgiving in Nashville. You're home on Black Friday against the Rangers. And then the final day of November, you're on the road against the Blues before you get into your December schedule there. So we won't go into that. Anything there really doesn't matter there at the end of the day. Trying to see if there's anything from John Tortorella talking about Matvei Michkov. So let's see. So we got Flyers nitty-gritty getting a quote here from Torts on Michkov. He's a 19-year-old kid playing in the best league in the world. He's totally not concentrated on certain parts of the game. If I see other guys going, then he's going to sit and watch a bit. That's all that was. He's had some struggles. Trying to think if there's anything else here. Let's see what else. What else is there? I'm trying to see if there's any just other quotes. I don't think there is. Don't think there is on that sense. No, really not much on the sense from Torts on Matvei Michkov. Not really seeing much there. So I think at this point, it's a good enough time to call it here. Like I said, pretty boring game. Not much to talk about, but hey, it's 2 wins in a row for the Fly Guys. So that's all that matters at the end of the day. So we got a day off tomorrow, nothing going on there. Maybe I'll find something to talk about there if there's anything that comes up. Maybe it'll be more Sixers talk, talking about Joel Embiid. I'm not entirely sure. Or we'll look into the Eagles this Sunday against Jacksonville. We'll definitely decide what to talk about tomorrow. I definitely do want to get something out there tomorrow. So you'll see something pop up in your subscription feed, so don't worry about that. But, yeah, I think that'll do it for tonight, everybody. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always whenever you decide to. So don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Does me a great deal of service. Also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SEATGEEK. Great deal. Do not pass it up. Once again, everybody, I appreciate y'all for tuning in as always, and I'll see you next time.